Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are back with the LFT Post review. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. I ended up just slowing down with them. I kind of like lost what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. I think I was focusing too much on the person and rather than the LFT Post review. So instead of having one or two to go over today, we're going to have four to go over, and we're going to be talking about accountability and kind of how to be LFT, what you should be doing. So I did make a video on this a couple months ago, and I'm just going to reference some points from that video in here based off the stuff that I read. So jumping right into it, the first one that we have here is a player by the name of 12PK. He says, after playing casually for the past 2 years, I am finally LFT. His role pref is Duelist, Sentinel, Initiator, Smokes. He's open to playing any agent/role and can flex. He believes he has what it takes to compete in a high level. He's just looking for an opportunity to prove himself. So I've known 12 for a long time. 12 is a character. He's a really funny guy. He has been known as a ranked troll or a elo terrorist. He even put that in his name at one point after he got called that. So I think that he has a nice introduction of, you know, wanting to play the game and being LFT. He doesn't really have a spike or a VLR to post here. I'm pretty sure that he has like, maybe a couple maps like pugging some tournaments, but I know that I don't think he's never played on a consistent team, and he tells us that. So again, honesty, accountability. He tells us what his role, the preferred roles he plays are, and he also says that he's open to doing anything. Again, in the past, I have kind of advised to stray away from that, but at the same time, when you're at this level of inexperience and you're kind of getting into it fresh, you really want to be looking for any opportunity you can get. And he also has a nice additive here saying that, he really does believe in himself and he's looking for that opportunity. So when I see that, I see somebody who's hungry. I see somebody who is waiting for that opportunity because, again, he believes in himself and he's been waiting so long to pull the trigger on this, right? Um, so, again, I think this is well written. I like that it's simple as well. And again, the honesty and the accountability with just, piecing together who he is and what he wants to do. Now, again, getting back to the point of I am open to playing any agent/role and can flex. When you are LFT, you want to think about yourself as a product and you want to sell that product to someone. So why should I buy this? Why should I give 12PK a trial, right? That's kind of what we're getting at with that LFT post. It doesn't really matter who you are or what you've done per se. It matters if you can convince someone to get in their team speak and to play Valorant with you. That is your goal as someone who is LFT. So you need to strategize on how you're going to do that. Is it going to be in the writing? Is it going to be in the resume? Is it going to be the people that you DM, the way you play the game? You have to sell yourself to other players, to other teams, so they can buy in on you, and then we can get to work in the server, right? Um, so we're gonna go to another post here. Um, I don't really think I'm gonna be grading these anymore, but again, this is just like a good. I would just give this like a, I would just give this a good. This is an above average LFT post. It's honest, it's short, it's simple, it gets to the point. Now we're gonna get to a more prominent player by the name of RandyySAVAGE, former Renegades. I am LFT as an unrestricted free agent, as Renegades has decided to step back from Valorant. So when you read unrestricted free agent, that means that he is not bound by his contract anymore. He is unrestricted. He can go wherever, he can do whatever. The contract is void. I'm ready to immediately get back in the server. Comfortable on Viper, KJ, Cypher, Sova, Chamber. Retweets appreciated. Contact at Tailored. So Tailored is a agent. He has an agency. Again, this is a more high caliber LFT post as you're going to recognize the name compared to someone who is starting fresh. So Randy says that, most importantly, he's unrestricted. There's no buyout, there's no drama if you want to play with him. Some players, that is not the case if they get benched or if they get like put to the inactive roster. sometimes you're still on that contract and there's a bench clause, and you get paid a fifth of the amount of money that you would be getting paid. Tells us his roles, what he wants to play, and he says that he really wants to get to work. Randy's definitely a grinder. He's like the best Deagle in NA, maybe world. But again, this is kind of like when we go from the first step to down the road, this is what your LFT post is going to start to look like, right? Usually, if you're on a free agent team, you don't include that you're unrestricted because you weren't on a contract in the first place. So you'll say something along the lines of, with my team disbanding, with people taking other offers, whatever, right? Again, Randy is just telling people that there's no strings attached. We know that he's a great player and he wants to get back in the server. So, again, very important to talk about your personal situation and what roles you can do, and then a little added note, right? I'm ready to immediately get back in the server. Next thing we're going to go into here are LFT posts that I am. Again, this episode is about honesty and accountability. So when I see an LFT post like this, I get bad vibes of that. And the reason that I get bad vibes is because I feel like this person is trying to take a shortcut. And I want to start off by completely ignoring everything in this post, and we're going to jump right into Tier 2 experience. So we're going to go to VLR. We're going to type in Bayonet. We're going to click on him. We can see that he has been a manager for the majority of his career, and he has 5 maps played. He has 5 maps played. So, again, what is Tier 2 experience? What makes me in what tier? And again, the tiers are all botched. There's actually no such thing as a tier. You're either a pro or you're not. You either sign a piece of paper or you don't. That's the difference, okay? But just because people want to label themselves as such, and it does help to gauge where you are in the game. This is your guide right here, okay? This is another one of the videos that I've made. I'll link it down below if you want to watch it. These are the tiers, okay? Tier 1, contracted pro, you're a top player, and you usually have pro experience in another game. That's just an added on thing earlier in the game that mattered. It doesn't really matter anymore. Tier 2, you can still be a pro and be Tier 2. Some of the Tier 2 players are paid. They're right on the cusp of making it. They're placing that top 16, top 8 in respectable events, and you got around 3,000 rounds on VLR. So again, honesty and accountability. When you have 5 maps, okay? When you have 5 maps, let's say every one of those maps, ended 13-7, right? We're coming up at 100 rounds played. You are not in Tier 2. You're not even close. You are not even close. I don't care how long you scrimmed. I don't care what former team you were on. I don't care if you were a manager or a coach. You're not Tier 2. You're not. And again, it's not only about, the placement. It's that experience. That's what I'm referencing the point of the rounds played. Everybody has a team that they've been on that, didn't really work well and you didn't place well in tournaments. At the end of the day, man, it's like, it's about yourself. So Tier 3, we have majority unpaid. There are some paid rosters, like very small orgs or whatever the case is, struggling with inconsistencies of roster changes, tournament placements, etc. Usually inexperienced attack FPS. So I put that in there because a lot of Tier 3 players who are on these free agent orgs, they're usually very young, and they also don't really have they didn't have time in their life to come from another game, is what I mean. So like when I transitioned to this game, I was 19 years old compared to someone who, is 14 or 15. I had 4 or 5 years on that person playing things like Counter-Strike, playing things like Apex Legends, where I develop a more vast understanding of what I should be doing and why. Let's stray away from this. I'm kind of on a rant right now. But again, we're back to honesty and accountability. There's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. The best thing that putting this in will do is someone is going to click it, they're going to send via direct message, they're going to send it to their group chat, and they're going to laugh at you. I'm dead serious. This is unacceptable. You cannot be lying in your LFT post. There's no point. You're not going to get anywhere. Think about it like catfishing. If you are catfishing someone online, sending them pictures of a person that you aren't, where's that going to get you? Let's play the game of hypotheticals. Let's say that Bayonet gets a trial because someone sees tier 2 experience and he gets in the server and he doesn't know how to shoot straight. His util's bad, his comms are bad. They're like, what the fuck is going on, dude? I thought you had tier 2 experience. Now we have a burned bridge. Right? We want to avoid that. You gotta take the right steps. There's no shortcut. There's no skipping. There's no running through the woods. There's no back alley. You gotta grind it out. Regardless of the tier 2 experience, Bayonet does put a lot of detail into this, which is important. Says what roles he wants to play, what roles he would play. I don't really know if I agree with this statement for the right team, but he's saying that in the sense of, you know, if there are 4 good players who need a smoke, then he would play. And he's dedicated to fixing his mental attitude and giving it my all. So, again, just kind of be careful on how you want to word that. That almost sounds like you're admitting that you're a problem, but again, just watch how you word it. Be honest, be accountable. So I don't actually have an LFT post for this guy that I saw, at least. He's a Valorant player looking for a team. He's an anchor god, and he's a clutch gene carrier. And he also does coaching on the side. So we're not necessarily looking at a post, but we're looking at what you should be doing when you're LFT, and this is not what you should be doing. I don't know how this guy acts in every game, but his gameplay is so one-dimensional and just poor quality. It's just simply bad. He refuses to be flexible. He acts like a reptile. And I'm going to reference a clip here when he was in my game. I'm just going to play it.
Not swing belt on Alpha Site. Over.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think I'd be able to double switch through my instant headshot.
Okay, another thing too, never throw that wall again.
Here, bro.
Throw it like this.
Why never throw that wall? There's no fucking shot. I'm about to alt F4 if you talk shit about my walls, man. You wanna have no smokes? Or you want me to use the walls that I wanna use?
Fuck, is it too early? Wait, let me check. 2:34, holy fuck. Not swing belt on Alpha Site. Over.
So we lose the pistol round. I noticed that we use a wall that was so bad I couldn't even believe that he threw it. And I'll show you what the wall is right now. This is the wall. Right here. This is the wall. Throws it from bottom mid and it just randomly gets somewhere into sight. And we're talking about what went wrong in the round, and I say, you know, don't throw that wall ever again either. And then I ping a new wall. I'm like, this is the wall that I want you to use. And he has the audacity to say to me, no shot. I'm going to alt F4 if you keep telling me how to play. I'm going to use my walls or we're going to have no smokes at all. What? What? What do you mean? Now, full ego. My opinion is completely meaningless. Okay? I am a nobody compared to some players who are playing ranked that are professionals. What I have always wondered is the way that I think about people and the opinions that I have. I wonder what the actual people who matter in the scene do. People who have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 viewers every time they turn their stream on. What's going to happen when you act like that in front of Sub Rosa? What's going to happen when you act like that in front of Steel? What is going to happen if you act like that in front of like Hiko or Tens? There's going to be 20,000 fucking people pointing a finger, laughing at you, calling you an idiot. This Hewchy guy, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And again, honesty and accountability. You want to call yourself an anchor god and a clutch gene carrier and lie about being radiant? And then have LFT plastered in bold black letters across your forehead? He has it as his in-game hashtag. Dude, you need a complete mental reset. In my opinion, speaking as someone who has done this exact thing, act like you're nobody every single day. Every single day, act like you're a nobody. That's how you should treat yourself until you become somebody. And if you want to have an ego and troll and talk shit, so be it. But if you get into the mental state of making every day count, watching what I say to others, acting in a manner that isn't subhuman, I can guarantee you, you will get opportunities in this game. Unfortunately, it doesn't even have to be that deep. Some people do that, and they're not even good at the game, and they still get opportunities. That's the base. That's the minimum. And so many people, I'm just using this guy as an example, so many people can't even meet the minimum requirements. If you want to be a professional, if you're on your grind, act like a professional. Prove that if somehow you get an opportunity, it won't instantaneously be squandered by your ignorance and arrogance. So again, I wanted to touch base on that. Honesty and accountability. Make sure every day counts. Find something to practice. Find something to improve on. If you are making an LFT post, be honest about it. You aren't going to cut any corners. You aren't going to trick anybody. You aren't going to accidentally get a trial. It's not going to happen. Other than that, that is all I have for you guys. I'm going to be on the lookout for more LFT posts. Try to do continue doing this breakdown. And again, I kind of want to stay on the style of good LFT posts versus ones that need work, like the last two that we viewed. I appreciate everybody for watching. Like I said, if you want any reference videos, they'll all be linked down below, or you can just click on the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. Today is Monday, fresh new week. Hope you have a good day. I got more stuff coming for you. I'm out of here. Deuces.